Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 228 and 230 Cervantes here in Lake Oswego. We're located at the rear right corner, the rear left corner if you're looking at the units from the street. We have a 4-inch ABS cleanout, and I am running water only in the far right side unit. The cleanout comes out of the left side unit, but because I'm doing that, I can tell that these lines are interconnected. There's only one sewer line for both units. We're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running. Here we go. And we're hoping for no roots. I've scoped a few of these on this street. It had roots in some of them. All the lines go out the back through the forest. Now there is a Y connection coming in here, and it looks like I can see debris coming out of it. So we may actually have more than just one unit connected to this particular line here. That's something you'd have to look into by pulling records or whatnot. There's no way for me to verify that with as many units as are out here, but you can see from that opening there how there is debris within it. That usually indicates, not always, sometimes the flush coming down this way can kind of splatter over there on that side in the Y. But the way it appears anyway, it looks like an actively used connection. Transitions here over to 6-inch concrete. We do have some roots up ahead. Being these units are set up this way, more than likely this Y connection here is conforming and not a problem. Whenever I see a Y, though, I always recommend people look into it, make sure it's not a non-conforming party sewer. So, large root intrusion here, and a even bigger separated joint down the flow line. That joint there is opened up enough that it's likely letting water escape the line. Maybe not tons and tons of it, but that's a pretty good separation there at the joint. Alright, here is our main lateral connection at 46 feet. The lines go out to the pathway at the rear of the home. Right in that is where the main is at. We're going to let the line drain out here for a few minutes. We can have a good look at everything on the way back in. For the most part, it looks like it's just the concrete portion of the line that's having some issues. We'll get that all mapped out with white paint. I'll mention the depth and location of it in just a minute. Okay, line's all drained out at this point here, pretty much all drained out. We're going to go ahead and start reeling the camera back in. Okay, located the camera head successfully. It is where I put my marking down. It's about 8 to 10 feet from the path. There's a little hill back here that drops off right before the path. It's right on that little hillside, and it is about 6 inches from a green utility box, which is throwing off some interfering signals. My locate's fairly spot on, but the depth is bouncing around. We're getting between about 6.5 and 7 feet deep there, but I am locating on a hillside, so it could actually be a different depth than that. The hills do throw off the locator, and it's really hard to see. Right where the line transitions over to concrete, I'm seeing a little, it looks like a small root that's poking out from that joint. We have such a junk view of it, I can't tell if that's what it is or not, or something else, but that's looking like the start of a root intrusion right there. So I would take the repair. Ideally, you update all the concrete, but I would update from here at 34 feet to 36 feet in order to ensure you got everything. The hole you dig will basically be that big anyway. You can also look into doing an epoxy liner. I don't know if that would fill that gap in there very well. It would allow you to not have to dig anything up. And if you go the liner route, I would line the entire concrete section. It's basically going to be about the same price to do that, and then you have a fully updated section of pipe there that doesn't need to be messed with for a long time. But I do recommend a spot repair there to fix that root intrusion. And then I would also just look into this Y connection here as to what it is, where it's coming from, that it's a conforming connection. Okay, we just ran the camera back inside the unit as far as we could take it. All that pipe inside the unit was functioning properly. It's also in good shape, and at this time we do have adequate flow to the main lateral. I don't know if water's escaping through that joint, but based on the amount of debris in the line is still functioning to a certain extent, but it's not functioning properly due to that separation and the root intrusion. So I'd get that corrected, and then make sure you get a rescope done to check the repair work. Aside from that, those from about 34 feet to 36 feet, the rest of the line is in good condition. The concrete beyond that is still in fair condition. My concern is that you're likely to get roots in other joints as time goes on, especially at a transition from either ABS to concrete or ABS to PVC. That's why I would look into the liner. I think it's going to be a good route to go here for at least trying to prevent roots from getting in the future. Either way, and just get it fixed.